All right, welcome back. Today we are doing an interview with Erin. Hi, Erin. How are you today?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Do you want to give us a little bit of background about yourself before we dive into any questions?
Yeah, sure. I'm from Massachusetts, the same state as Danny. And I grew up in a town like outside of Boston, did the whole like whatever normal suburban life, went to college, became a teacher, did that for 5 years and was like, probably not. So then I started traveling and I've been on the path of deconditioning myself and waking myself up for the past couple of years and during my teaching time too. And I stumbled across human design probably like a year and a half ago for the first time. It was suggested to me. I apologize for the loud noise in the background, which you probably can hear. And I looked into it and I was like, whoa. And then I met a random person at a bar in Springfield, Mass. And they were like, you need to meet Danny. And I was like, okay. And we've never met in person, actually. We've never even done a video call. I only have ever seen his like Mike Tyson like tattoo picture on on his like WhatsApp picture. And we did
Love
a
that
call
picture.
about like a year ago. Yeah, we did a call about a year ago now, and I've been just like working with my strategy a little bit since then, and been aware of the open centers. And now we did our second call, and I've been like teaching myself using resources online and leveling up and learning more. And now I'm sharing with friends now as well.
Wonderful. I was going to ask you what brought you to human design. So I love how you gave the backstory of, how you came across Dan and this being your second session with him. You're going through the process of deconditioning. What do you remember about your strategy and authority? Like what is your type 1st?
I'm a generator.
You're
Um,
generator.
so my strategy is to respond, and I'm an emotional generator. So it's been like so powerful, obviously, of course, to understand that the wave is my reality and that there is no truth in the now, and that I really need to feel what I feel. And I think that's why journaling is such a powerful tool for me. To then just be patient and come to what the truth is, or what you maybe think the truth is, because I also have an open head and ajna.
Ajna.
Yeah, so that's like a whole situation. So yeah, just being honest with myself and being like, no. And then my authority, is emotional. Yeah.
I'm emotional too. So this is something that I am learning as well. And then today, if you haven't watched today's show, go back because we did talk about how the emotion that's a new concept within the human design. So we're really learning and bringing this authority to the field at the moment. So
Cool. I didn't know that. I mean, there's so many amazing things that I've learned so far, but I think that's like probably one of the most profound and important things. And also that feels so true. And Danny gave me like beautiful information today, like the up and the down and the up and the down. And in the past, when I was, living my matrix life, the down, I got stuck in the down before. Like I experienced situational depression, like that happened. And now I can look back and understand that that was a down, that I lost hope for the up again. And then I did come out of that, and I'm free from all that now, which is amazing. And now when those downs come, it's like, it's okay. And he just gave me some beautiful like reframing of that. Like that's when you're creative. Like that's when like the wisdom hits. Like that's when you get like those like hits. And the menstrual cycle came to mind as well, because I'm female. Like those moments of like quiet, and those moments of like, yeah, staying in, or like canceling plans, or well, knowing your cycle and not making the plans in the first place. And just like letting that be, and maybe meditating, or maybe doing nothing, or maybe like whatever. So I'm really excited for my next down to be like, like, should I like draw something or like
Hmm.
paint something? Like, I don't know how to paint, but like I could learn. So it'd be cool.
Exactly. Those are the moments where self-care is the most important. And I'm a huge self-care junkie. So now that I'm recognizing those emotional waves when I am in the down moments, that's me time. So
Yeah, like he said, like the negative stigma that we put on it has like taken that away. And I think that's why perhaps like I experienced such a situational depression before, because I put that negative stigma on it. And it's like it doesn't have to be negative. Like we all experience the range of human emotion, or maybe we don't all, but as an emotional person, I experience sadness, loneliness, like whatever. And it doesn't have to be negative. It's just chemistry.
yes, exactly. Us emotional beings are well aware of that, or getting to be aware of that. Um, in this session, did you learn anything about yourself that you didn't know? Any aha moments?
Yes, but I was like, oh, I wish I could like read my notes before I jumped on with you.
It's okay. I know it's a lot.
Yeah, that like so many things. Oh yeah, this was an aha moment. My channel of community, or I have the channel of community. And so that's like he shared with me, like if someone says like they need me or they need help, like my response is like, okay, I'm there for you for sure, which I do identify with that. And like looking back on like friendships in the past, I feel like sometimes like, oh, I would do this for my friends, but they wouldn't do that same thing for me. um, so we got helped me to realize like, so they don't have that same channel, so they just like, it's not good, it's not bad, they just can't do that. So then therefore like maybe those aren't friends for me, or maybe like the majority of my friends maybe shouldn't fall into that category. So not being like upset or disappointed when things like that happen, and just being like, well, that's their chemistry, they can't do it, so it's not their fault, it's just not possible.
That is excellent. And that's a hard one to, realize. It's down to the chemistry of things. So I get like that sometimes with people. And that goes into the emotional waves, the self-care and all these tools. And that would be an excellent tool to use boundaries for, and learning those boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So well, I was going to ask you how your session overall was with Dan, and I know you've been given lots of positive feedback about his session. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
I would say if anyone is thinking about doing a reading, I think yes, do it. If you're overwhelmed by like how complicated the chart might look at first glance, or how like intimidating it can be, do it, because this was my second reading now with Danny, so we got like more in depth. But my first reading with him, I like didn't know anything, and he did such a beautiful job like walking me through and like really going at my pace, and he's super receptive and open to questions and answers your questions. And yeah, I would say do it. And I just love how, oh, what was another thing? Oh yeah, like affection as currency. That was another topic that came up. And that came up during the channel of community. Yeah. And it's so, I mean, I just love how he handles like, okay, like what's your financial situation? Like, don't like break the bank over this. Like, what can like, I just love how it's open like that. That's something that I identify with as well. So that just feels really special. It doesn't feel like weird. It just feels good, and it feels like honest and nice and true. Yeah.
I love that. And I love how you added that. And we are on a mission to help people wake up to their design and start living in their design. That way we can all start living within our designs and all be happy. So it's important that I love how you mentioned that. So how do you plan on integrating this knowledge that you're learning? I know that you had a session about a year ago. This is your second one, and you have been deconditioning and integrating. So what are your next plans?
My next plans are to, well, many things, but I want to think about like what did Danny and I talk about in our first session compared to this session, because I actually have friends reaching out to me now and they're like, oh, like what's this like human design you've been like talking about? Like, can you like help me? And I'm like, okay, go to like jovianarchive.com and then let me know your information and I can do like a light reading because I'm like learning and now I'm like learning with other people's charts. So my plan is to keep learning about my chart, help to start activating people into reading their charts, promoting Danny to them. I actually forgot to tell him that I have somebody for him, so I'll have to text him after this.
Send him a text. He will be happy to jump on
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I know, and she's really eager as well. I kind of want to do like a light reading for her myself and then talk to him about it. I didn't tell him any of this, so maybe he's like gonna find out this via this. I don't know if this is like live or what's happening, but maybe he already knows. And yeah, I kind of want to like practice and ask him to like tell me if like I got it, like if I'm getting it right or not, and then yeah, connect them. But I think the main takeaway that I'm the most excited to play with is the down and like the down wave of the emotion, and to maybe like feel into the emotion and maybe like locate it in my body, and then maybe like feel the color or something, and then maybe like do some art with that. That feels like something I want to do.
I love that. And I was going to say, I'm working on building tools and stuff that people can utilize to integrate the knowledge in, or, you know, like mindfulness or meditation, stuff like that, those deconditioning process. And that are what you just said was a beautiful way to do it. So
Mm. Ooh,
tell me, when you do that in your down moments, I would love to hear your feedback on how that worked for you.
okay. Yes. Yes, I will. I just got
So
another idea too. It's
perfect.
really, are you new to human design yourself?
Dan did my chart a little over a year ago, but I had already been on the awakening process for 5 years now, and mindset is a big thing for me. So I was deconditioning the programming up here, and as soon as he did my chart, it made sense, it clicked. And then throughout over the years, I've been learning how to integrate that knowledge in my life. I understand the design, the matrix. I can see the matrix,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm learning more and more about it. I'm a manifester. I'm an emotional manifester. So it's I act like a generator, and that's where I fall short in a lot of things that I am doing, because I don't have that abundant amount of energy like the new
Mm-hmm.
generators have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like,
And
oh, yeah,
well,
as you
yeah,
can see.
and I come in and I create, and then it kind of fizzles out, or it never gets completed because I deplete
Mm-hmm.
my energy. So I am learning, and Dan has helped me tremendously with learning about my design and honoring my energy. And when I do have those emotional waves, I get excited now, because that's when my creativity comes out. I gain a deeper level of awareness of whatever is going on, and I just have to wait for it to pass through the moments. And I've been adding other tools to it to help me navigate through those emotional moments, because also with the astral energetics, those will kick in emotional waves. And then I have to look at like what the planets are doing. And like this last Mercury retrograde, it really triggered a lot of emotional things to come up to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm realizing that I don't need to attach to what thoughts are coming up in the emotions. But if I step back and I am if I'm the passenger and I just review what's being shown to me, I'm a 5-1 profile. So I'm also the investigator. So I'm constantly looking deeper and deeper and deeper into what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It allows me to do that, because I like to get to the core of things, why
That's
things,
so cool.
yes.
That's cool.
So
That's a hard one, but that's fun. because the why
Yeah.
always leads to more whys, which leads to more whys. But then you always have something to research, so that's cool.
Yes, and when you're and I'm a lot of some of my coaching helps other people build businesses, industries. I'm very techie and stuff like that. So any type of coaching program that I have taken in the past or that others take, they're always like, find your why, dig to the why you do things. And that was easy for me because I am constantly looking for the why. And I thought everybody was doing that, but not everybody does.
I think that's another really big, beautiful thing about human design. Like, we're all living, like, just thinking through our lens and our experiences. And it's like, that's why texting sucks, because like, if like you meet someone like online dating, let's say, like they're texting, you're texting, you think the vibe is like a vibe, but you're interpreting their text through your lens, and they're sending their text through their lens. You don't even know their lens. And then you like, my rule is always like, if you don't video chat the person, no, like you gotta video chat. You have to at least talk on the phone, like, because we're living our lives through our own lenses. So you have to realize that we all have our own unique glasses, which is so cool. But yeah, we make the mistake of thinking everyone sees the same way we do, and that's just not true.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you are not responsible for the other person's lens. That was an important thing. That was the more that I do decondition and I gain the awareness, I noticed that with people that it's not, I'm doing my work. And sometimes when you're speaking to somebody, depending on where their lens is, it could be a completely different language. And that is quite all right. Don't get, as an emotional being, I would get emotionally attached to that. And then it would trigger an emotional wave where now I'm just like, okay, we're not on the same, the communication's not correct. It's not in that moment. That's quite all right. If that person is exactly where they need to be at this moment, I'm exactly where I need to be at this moment. Moving on. So beautiful conversation. This was excellent. I loved hearing your feedback. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
It is raining here, so maybe do you want to see the rain outside? Because I'm actually in Guatemala on a beautiful lake, and it's like a downpouring storm right now, so that's like kind of cool. I don't know if that is something people want to see.
Sure, if you want to show us.
Are we like live on like
no, but I'll put it up on YouTube.
Okay, we can't go outside, but can you see?
Oh, yeah, y'all are getting some rain. That's beautiful, though. It looks a lot better than where I'm at.
And where are you?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Oh, cool.
I want this to be my background soon.
Yeah, you will have it. If you want it, you can have it. Yeah, of course. We create our universe.
Absolutely, we do. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to add before we wrap this up?
It was nice to meet you, and thank you for like putting yourself out there and being like an inspiration to do that and sharing your story, because I feel sometimes called to do that as well, and I've been like, so thank you for being like a model of someone doing that, because it just shows that it's possible. And it's so important to be vulnerable and to share the story, because people are waking up and it's like, it's hard at first, like, and before, you don't even realize you're waking up till you're already like in the shit, and you don't really realize it then either. You realize it once you're out, and like that first emotional breakdown, that first recognition that like, I am depressed, I am not happy. Like, you don't know that you're on the spiritual path already at that point. So it's super hard and super confusing. So it seems like you're sharing tools to deal with that. So that's cool.
I personally, sorry about my dog.
Okay.
I just recently came out of an emotional wave, so I completely understand. And it was that moment that I realized what was going on, and it was freeing because I was able to be the observer, and not attached to it, but again, watch that screen. So that's what me and Dan, that's what our whole mission is about. And him doing sessions and waking people up to their design and helping them navigate through this. And I want to start helping people integrate that knowledge into their lives and start learning how we can authentically live, whatever that requires to do. There's so many different tools, and people want to get online and do this type of stuff. So I really want to incorporate it as each individual design. So
Yeah.
thank you,
So
beautiful.
cool.
I'm so happy
Thank
you
you.
joined us today, and thank you for your feedback. For anybody who is watching this, please make sure to look down below for the links. Book your session with Dan. Definitely book your session with Dan. Even if you've had a session, you still have questions, don't hesitate to reach out to him. He is amazing. He really wants to dedicate his time into helping each individual as much as possible. So thank you for tuning in, and thank you again, Erin, for joining.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Y'all have a beautiful day.